Ottawa Senators and the Blue Jackets begin their three-game season series. And as mentioned, Curtis McElhinney makes his first start of the year. Played 7 games with the Senators a few years back. Impressive 2-0 in 3 appearances with a 1.29 goals against average in the preseason. And Robert Leonard, who won his last start last Saturday night, a shootout victory against Tampa. Mark Jeanette, Graham Skilleter are the referees. Michel Cormier, Ryan Murphy, the linesman. Jackets wearing their road whites. They win the opening faceoff, and we are underway. Both teams coming off victories. As we mentioned, the Senators in come-from-behind fashion Thursday over Colorado. Darting in, a backhand shot by Atkinson. He looked far corner there, and it sailed wide of Leonard in the Ottawa net. Moved up but not out. Foligno in the slot fires a shot through a crowd. Leonard gets a piece of that one. The Senators again try to clear the zone, and with the second effort do just that. Now Ottawa, Jody, has had problems in their own end. And if not for the goaltending of Anderson and Leonard, why the Senators would not be sporting a record of 3-1.
Well, good job by Ryan Johansson right away, and the speed of Cam Atkinson to get down in front of Leonard so he couldn't see that first shot on net.
Bobby Ryan attempted to play that puck ahead, and it went out of play off a Blue Jacket defender. How about the Toyota Keys presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealer?
Road hockey for the Blue Jackets. Nothing fancy, simple. Get to the neutral zone, get it in, and shoot it on net. Stay disciplined within your system and stay out of the box. And they have got to strike early against this team in Ottawa that feels pretty good about themselves, Jeff, with a 3-game winning streak.
Ceci, Wirkosh fires a shot wide. Now, how quick is it and how important is it for McElhinney to get a feel of that puck in his first game of the season?
Oh, yeah, he's got to get out there. He's been anxious all day. He did not skate this morning with the pregame skate. There was only 3 players on the ice, guys that didn't play last night. And he's really anxious, I'd say, right now. But, you know, just feel the puck, get some shots on him, feel good about it.
Jackets chase the puck deep in the zone. That's Hoffman, the 4th liner, given an opportunity to play. What with the scratches by the Senators. Hoffman now out of the Quebec League. Sends it ahead. David Legwand, no stranger to the Jackets. The long-time captain. And, of course, former Nashville Predator. There's Legwand from a sharp angle. Last season played in Detroit with the Red Wings. Hoffman in pursuit. Legwand keeps it in, sends it towards the net. There, McElhinney gets a chance to feel the puck and covers up.
Good job by Curtis. He had to fight through traffic there to get that puck. And you'll notice something different about Curtis McElhinney this year. He's wearing number 30, not 31. And I asked him about that, and he said when he went to Calgary, so there you see that save. When he went to Calgary with the Flames, Mike Vernon's 30 was retired. So he took 31. And then the teams he's played on in between, no one's ever asked him. They just gave him 31. And it was available, and he took it this year.
Everything you want to know and more from the former Blue Jacket, Jody Shelley. Here's Karlsson. 9th captain, as we mentioned, in Senators history. Takes over from the departed Daniel Alfredsson. Of course, the Senators went all last season without a captain, and meaning Karlsson just prior to the start of the year. Phillips pressured. Jackets get it out of the zone. Here's Matt Calvert, a goal and an assist last night. Calvert, new gloves in toe, tries to walk in, does, and sends it off Leonard.
Nice play by Calvert. One-on-one, challenges the defender, and gets a good opportunity on net.
Todd Richards saying after last night's game he really liked the work of this line with Letestu and Skilly. Karlsson hits the offensive blue line with a pass. On that right wing, Stone, first line out there presently for Ottawa with MacArthur and Turris. Long left wing feed. Senators crowd trying to encourage the hometown team there as the Jackets pressure. That's Chaput behind the net. Moved ahead by Stone on the left wing for MacArthur. Clark MacArthur on to Turris. Kyle Turris threw it across the line, and it's deflected off Putin and wide of the net. Picked up by the Senators in the corner, and it's Turris. Turris for Stone. Stone circles the net, throws it in front. Jackets able to knock it away. Turris is pressured. Tossed in the backhand to Ceci. Ceci cross ice. There's a shot by Wirkosh off the shoulder of goaltender Curtis McElhinney.
Dalton Prout working over.
Quick shot, Turris. And that's ripped wide of the net.
see Tootin and Prout out there against this line, and Prout did a great job with Turris in front of the net, making him uncomfortable.
Approaching the 4-minute mark. Pretty good intensity in this first period. And now Fedor Tootin as the Jackets change up. Very vocal crowd. Their home opener was Thursday, and it was a sellout crowd and a packed house here again tonight in Ottawa. Atkinson cycles out, sends it up high. Savard, the quick shot. Leonard didn't see it till the last possible moment, but it sailed wide of the net. Here now, Jack Johnson up high, floats one in. Looking for the redirect there was Foligno, the former Ottawa Senator. Bobby Ryan sends it behind Zibanejad. Ryan in pursuit, Foligno along the wall. Played there by Jack Johnson. Looks to the right wing for Savard. On to Atkinson, who steers ahead and then heads off to the bench.
I like that play by Nick Foligno. Him and Bobby Ryan are going for the puck. Nick goes in with a strong stick to make sure that he gets that puck, wins that battle. Then they proceed to the red line, get it in and change.
Senators change up their blue liners. Jackets outlet pass there for Anisimov from Hartnell. Just failed to click. Gryba on to Legua. Puck dumped in by Borovitsky. In the corner. Pressure coming on that far side. Senators look for Neal. Pass fails. Gryba defending here at the right point. Jackets send it off Anisimov and out. Chris Neal, one of the two alternate captains for Ottawa. Jackets with the steal. Trying to walk to the net there was Wenberg. Alexander Wenberg certainly getting opportunities here in all situations from the coaching staff, Jody.
Yeah, and you'd like to see that line, Wenberg and Anisimov and Hartnell, to get their footing here and contribute offensively. I know that they'd love to themselves.
Approaching the 6-minute mark, the outlet pass there for Calvert. Through the neutral zone, dumps it into the corner. Skilly in pursuit. McCulloch gets it ahead. Smith now along the boards, protecting that puck and away from Calvert. Senators forced. Ceci on for Wierkosh. Jackets pressure the puck, but it's out to center ice. And Columbus dump back in.
Columbus is going to go for a change here. They've done a good job of just getting the puck out of their own end, getting through the neutral zone, and making sure it gets deep. That's just good road hockey. Keep it simple.
Lazar tied up there by Jack Johnson. Jersey number 27, the NHL rookie, 19 years of age, a member of the Memorial Cup champion. Edmonton Oil Kings last season, a first-round pick. Keep an eye on him. Right side. Stone unable to play it. Bold does, and he'll drop it back to Jack Johnson. On the left wing, Scott Hartnell. Ceci able to sweep it away. Stone in pursuit along with Turris, but the Jackets hammered back into Ottawa territory.
That puck looks to be rolling around quite a bit out there, Jeff. That was a couple passes there through the neutral zone that just seemed to be bobbled by the Blue Jackets.
Carlson back on the ice. Feeds Turris in front. Look at McElhaney. Ever alert. Will cover up in the blue paint. Carlson showing those offensive skills, moving up ice and then sending it into Jackets territory for a quality scoring chance. But McElhaney turns it aside. Paul McLean holding court this morning, jokingly referring to the Jackets' Ryan Johansson, although he had high praise for Johansson and the team as number 19, pretending he didn't know who Ryan Johansson was. I'm sure by the end of the night, Johansson would like to make sure that Paul McLean and the Senators know exactly who Johansson is as he gets set for the draw. In our Elk and Elk injury report, several key Blue Jackets remain out of the lineup. And we'll get to that Elk and Elk injury report here on the next whistle.
Yeah, number 19 won that face-off there.
Right wing feed there for Atkinson. Chopped ahead. Jackets able to keep it in. Foligno had it roll off a stick, but Johansson is there. Fights off Smith. Smith recovers and chops it behind the net. Atkinson looking to walk out. On to Foligno. Nick Foligno, a crowd favorite here as a member of the Senators, and he gets it right in on Lehner. And as promised, let's check out the Elk and Elk injury report. And as we mentioned on the Blue Jacket side, key members out, Horton, Dubinsky. Ryan Murray perhaps the closest. Maybe we see him on the road trip, Jody. And of course, Jenner and Marco Dano, who's with the hockey club here.
Yeah, that's a long list. And look, just over the next few weeks here, look for that list to get shorter, hopefully, Jeff.
Key players the Jackets start the season with out. And the sooner the likes of Jenner and Dubinsky and company to get back in the lineup, the better the Jackets will be.
You have to be very happy with how the Jackets are playing now. All the guys in the lineup understand the identity, and they play that hard game every night.
Wenberg, the long shot, redirected. It's off the pad there of Leonard. Hartnell looking for his first goal. Drops it back. Long shot deflected. And Bobby Ryan looking to feed ahead. The Jackets have cleared. And we get a whistle. Puck play is called and a high-sticking penalty upcoming. The Jackets will get the first power play of the night.
Ottawa penalty number 6.
Bobby Ryan heads to the box.
It's a high stick. Bobby Ryan's going to watch that on the video board, but you see it there. You can see Wisniewski puts his glove right to his face. Good opportunity here for the Jackets. Almost halfway into the first period.
Jackets with power play goals in each of the last 2 games. They are 15th in the league, 17.6%. 20th of 30 on the kill are the Senators, who have allowed 3 power play goals on only 14 shorthanded situations. And as we mentioned at the outset of the telecast here tonight, the Senators have had problems in their own end, particularly killing off penalties. Atkinson comes with speed onto Foligno. Nick Foligno for Atkinson. Atkinson, Foligno, Johansson looking for some open ice. Foligno along the wall from the goal line. Foligno hangs on. Atkinson waits in the slot, up high. This is Wisniewski, right-handed shot on the left point. Johansson on the half board, looking to pinch in on that far side. Jackets trying to get something going. That was Eriksson, but the Senators are able to clear. Atkinson breaking the stick, drops it right there. Jackets will change things up on the power play.
The Blue Jackets were looking for something there. They looked like they were trying to run a certain play, but they couldn't see it. And once they did try to make that pass, Ottawa broke it up, as they did right there on the entry.
Greiba able to clear it the length of the ice. Greiba grew up just a few short miles here from Canada and the home of the Senators. Jack Johnson, paced by Payson, hammered by Greiba around the wall and back into Columbus territory with now 46 seconds left.
This is that second unit where Letestu is in for Wenberg. We saw this last night.
Puck hammered in. Greiba trying to hold off Hartnell. Up high, Savard. One-timer by Johnson. Jack Johnson let it fly and it sailed wide of the net. And again, it's Greiba who clears to center. Less than 30 left.
Ottawa's doing a good job of limiting the chances by the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's just one shot and out. Columbus needs to get in there a little harder and get to those rebounds.
We're at the midway point of a scoreless first period. Jackets in the waning seconds of the first power play of the night. Johnson ahead here. Skilly on for Matt Calvert. Taken away there by Clark MacArthur. Up high, Jack Johnson looks for some open space. Johnson continues to battle in the slot. Wins it. Fires a shot wide as Bobby Ryan steps back on. And the Senators kill off the first manpower advantage of the night. Skilly behind the Ottawa net. Walks out. Sends it up high. Tootin through a crowd. Oh boy! How did Leonard get a piece of that one? Wenberg had his first NHL goal on his hockey stick. And somehow the paddle down. And Leonard keeps the Senators from giving up the first goal of the hockey game. Look at Wenberg and the paddle down.
No score here in Ottawa at the Canadian Tire Center. 9:26 left in the first, and we just saw Wenberg get robbed. Got the puck on his stick. He saw a lot of net in front of him. Brings it to his forehand. And he'll think about that for a little while, but what a play by Leonard, his fellow countryman. Two Swedish players. There he is laughing it off. He can't believe it, but he's got a lot of goals in the bank. He'll see more.
Well, talking to Wenberg the other day, Jody, he said, I'm getting the chances. If I wasn't getting the chances, that would be a problem.
That is a great point, and that's what you look for is opportunities. Is he getting opportunities? Yeah, he is. So is that the whole line.
Stay tuned later in tonight's contest for our Miller Moment. It's presented by Miller Lite. Face off outside the zone. What does he have to do to get that first NHL goal? But you keep getting those chances, they're bound to go in. That was the save of the night. And it comes in the first period of this hockey game. Somehow Leonard got the paddle down and kept this game scoreless. Jared Bull dumps in. Gets it by Chris Phillips, the other alternate captain for the Senators Hockey Club. Carlson bumps into his own man. And appears to be all right. Meantime, in front, Chaput looked for that pass from the wing. Shot by Tootin, sails wide. And you can see where the Senators, as we were told, is advertised. They have problems of their own end, Jody.
Well, you saw the confusion when Carlson ran into Chris Phillips. It was a big, solid man. Kind of rocked Carlson. He's fine, like you said, but nice break for the Jackets.
Jackets come across the line. Foligno, left wing, fires. Off Leonard, rebound in front. Leonard comes across, makes the stop, scramble there, out of the paint, and play whistle down and some pushing and shoving. Leonard looking like a fish out of water, but he keeps the puck from crossing the line.
And what caused that confusion is a good, quick, hard shot from Nick Foligno early. And there you saw it, bouncing puck. Cam Atkinson does a good job trying to get his stick on it, and then Nick Foligno could see the puck sitting there, but Ottawa did a very good job keeping him from the puck, boxing out, we call that.
Jackets with 9 shots at the Ottawa net. Senators with 5. Down the wing. Senators quickly in the Jackets' territory, behind the defense. McElhinney able to get the right pad on it, but we're going to get a penalty shot. Now he got the shot away. Nonetheless, we have a penalty shot upcoming here for the Senators.
And this looked like a set play off of the faceoff.
Ottawa's been awarded a penalty shot as a result of holding on a breakaway.
Okay. So off the faceoff, Ottawa went ahead, and you saw the player busted out of there with his speed. Just missed through the wickets of McElhinney, but here we go with the penalty shot. Hoffman.
We were told he wasn't that great a skater. Well, he sure showed a burst of speed. Here comes in on the penalty shot, and McElhinney easily makes the stop.
Couple extra moves there from Hoffman. Curtis McElhinney, kudos to him. First game of the regular season. You see him, he's out way high, out of the crease, and just stays focused, stays in the middle of his net. Stays patient, I guess would be a good term for that. Ended up on the right side of that penalty shot for the Blue Jackets.
McElhinney has worked hard. He and Bobrovsky, Jody, have a great relationship, waiting for this opportunity. And with back-to-back games and Bobrovsky working last night in particular, his outstanding play in the third period gets a well-deserved rest. And McElhinney gets his start.
And Curtis is such a pro. He's embraced that job. He's the backup goalie behind Sergei. And he comes to the rink every day with a smile and a bounce in his step. And I think that's infectious to your teammates when you have someone with that attitude in that role.
Before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to join the battle on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Alexander Wenberg will take this draw and wins it. Jack Johnson, long shot, wide of Leonard. Chris Phillips paired with Carlson, dishes it on the wing. Bobby Ryan, the right-handed shot comes down the left side. Chiasson is with him. Chiasson, jersey number 90, acquired in the trade that saw the former captain, Jason Spezza, move on. You mentioned Alfredsson, the other Swede that was the captain. Last year it was Jason Spezza that was captain of his hockey team. Artem Anisimov. On for Hartnell. Circles the net. Scotty Hartnell, shot from the point, off the bench. Came Skilly, and Leonard gets the glove on it.
Skilly with a one-time shot. As soon as that puck touched his stick, he just threw it at the net. And there's Scotty Hartnell with his head up. Sees him coming. The problem with that is Leonard saw that puck, just caught it, settled the play down here. Face off to Leonard's left.
Mark Leicester. Legwand from the draw. Legwand wins it. Skilly, though, able to play that puck. Circles the net. Wrap around attempt. Skilly fights off the check. Senators come away, and it's Legwand leading the rush. He's got Neal with him. Legwand edges it ahead by Feder Tootin. Dalton Crouch back to defend. Neal. This is Legwand. Legwand up high, slides it across. Ceci. Shot from the wing by Wierkosh, and it's deflected wide of the net. Legwand waits here at the half board. Loose puck, Crouch. On for Feder Tootin. Hoffman chasing. Jackets have cleared the zone. This is Skilly, but Hoffman able to steal that puck. Hoffman a healthy scratch in some of the Senators' previous games, given an opportunity to play here tonight ahead of Condra, and he's making the best of it.
Yeah, you saw his speed off that face-off play in their own end. Drawing a penalty shot, and there you said, using that speed again.
Icing the call against Ottawa. They'll head back into Senators territory. Ryan Johansson will take this draw. He's 4 for 4 in faceoffs. The Jackets have been outstanding in the faceoff circle. In fact, they are 6th in the National Hockey League coming in tonight at 63.2%. I mentioned Letestu last night, 15 of 19 in the faceoff circle. Ceci, pressure. Protects that puck. Foligno reaching for it. That's Kyle Turris. On here for Stone. Power against power. Top lines out there for their respective teams. Senators deal it up. Moved by Phillips out of the corner. Senators get the cycle going. Trying to walk to the net. Good poke check there by James Wisniewski. And it's moved by Eriksson off the wall, the center, and then chopped in by Foligno.
It's a good example of how the Blue Jackets are keeping the Ottawa Senators out from the middle of the ice. No opportunities in tight. Good sticks, good bodies, good decisions.
Smith can't gain the zone. Lazar tosses back to Phillips, and it's on for Carlson. A little more than 5 minutes remain here in a scoreless first period. Jackets will head home after this one, and it is on to California Monday morning for what will be a 3-game trip through California. Corey Trout, playing his first game of the season last night, got involved in fisticuffs and provided some energy that Coach Todd Richards said that he would provide in his season debut.
Well, he came back as advertised. Got in a fight with Smead. Smead was trying to get his team going last night. Trop answered him, did a good job, got his feet wet. I'll be excited to be back out there tonight right away.
Bobby Ryan threw it across the line, turns, fires a shot that's blocked by David Savard. Savard, a hit here for Wenberg. Dances to the neutral zone, deals to Anisimov. Artem Anisimov pulls up, fires a shot, that's deflected and out of play. 4:20 left in a scoreless first period. Jackets with 10 shots. The Senators have 7. But as we mentioned, no score from Ottawa.
It's a scoreless game here in Ottawa. Craig Hartsburg, some good scoring opportunities. What do you think of the energy so far?
Real good. They were skating well. We've been good in the forecheck. We just haven't hit the back of the net yet.
Curtis coming up big on the penalty shot. Has that given your team a little bit of a lift here?
Yeah, it was huge. And he followed the puck so good and looked so calm in there. So it was great. The whole bench is excited for him.
Interesting how he said Curtis looked calm in there, and the bench feeds off those little things. That confidence that Curtis has.
Behind the defense and a goal! David Legwand.
And here they come up the ice with speed. And you can see in the middle, David Legwand gets in the middle of the ice, finds that puck, and just stuffs it between the legs of Curtis McElhinney.
Second goal of the season for Legwand. 64 career games previously against the Blue Jackets. That is his 22nd goal and 50th point against his Blue Jacket Hockey Club. So, Senators strike first, despite being outshot, and now less than 4 minutes remaining in this opening period. Trying to spring McCulloch free. Pollock now battles below that goal line. He's got Lazar with him. Jackets steal, and it's David Savard. On to the right wing. Here comes Skilly. Skilly dumps to the open corner. Calvert in pursuit. Ceci trying to hold him up. Calvert finishes his check. Wirkosh unable to get a stick on it. There's Letestu, who fans on the first attempt, throws it in front.
Letestu got his head up. Didn't see the puck was rolling. Took one attempt at it. Luckily, he got another shot at it. Got the puck deep.
Senators first on the board. The fourth line providing the offense. Legwand from Hoffman and Neal at 15:50 of this opening period. Jackets certainly have had the better scoring chances, Jody.
Yeah, they've had good jump.
But they trail in part due to the outstanding stops. One off Wenberg in particular by Leonard. Jack Johnson feeds Atkinson. Here comes Foligno with speed through the neutral zone. Knocked off the puck there by MacArthur. Turris at the line. Atkinson had it briefly. Kyle Turris now. Right-handed shot, sends it in front. That was deflected and just wide of McElhaney. Away goes Foligno again. Trailing is Johansson. Atkinson on the right wing. Foligno spins, turns, drops it back. Shot by Jack Johnson. Leonard had no idea where the rebound went, but he stopped the initial shot.
It was a good hard shot by Jack Johnson, who's going to get a penalty here. And some attention. Some of the Ottawa Senators.
Carlson and Turris go immediately after Jack Johnson. After that open ice hit, Mark Stone upended. And take a look at this one, as Jack Johnson was going to be penalized.
The Stone's reaching for the puck and trying to get around Johnson, who's going for the puck too.
That's knee on knee, but not intentional. Jack Johnson simply planting his skates. And Stone is still down, being attended to by the trainer. Two Jackets are in the penalty box. Ryan Johansson and Kyle Turris will be given roughing minors. But Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson is a big, heavy guy. There's no denying that. He leads for the puck. He braces himself. Just a lower. Stone was holding his knee. There's no question of that. He's going down the hallway with the trainer. Mark Stone. The Jackets have to kill this off here after just giving up the first goal of the game.
.2:23 left. Faceoff will come to Curtis McElhaney's left.
And I was just watching Petter Tootin and Mark Letestu. Those guys are ready for this face-off. They were just discussing what their game plan is. I love the communication with the Columbus Blue Jackets in some of these face-off circles.
Senators on the power play. The Jackets have killed off all 9 opposition power plays in the first 3 games. MacArthur drops it back. One-timer by Carlson, juggled by McElhaney, but he's able to make the stop. Legwand up high. He has the goal here. That has Ottawa in front. Carlson, right-handed shot on that left point. Legwand. Head up. Carlson. Cross-ice pass picked up by MacArthur.
That's the second time they've tried that fake
Carlson,
shot.
top of the circle. Stick save. Rebound. Chason tried to get a stick on it. Legwand spins, turns, drops it back to Carlson. Walking the line. Traffic in front of McElhaney. Right back to Carlson again. No doubt the quarterback of this power play. Cross-ice active stick there by Matt Calvert. He's able to clear the zone.
There was that cross-ice pass again. Good job by Calvert to jump on that, get a stick into the lane, and get off the ice.
Carlson tried to feed it cross-ice. Jackets break it up and force the Senators back into their own zone. Kneeing is the call on Jack Johnson. Roughing minors, as we mentioned, to Turris and to Johansson. A little more than a minute left here. Shots now even at 11. Backhanded by Chaput between the 2 defensemen. Legwand waving at it. The Jackets have dumped it back. Well into the final minute, 32 seconds left in a Jack Johnson penalty.
Good support by Chaput there to be in that little quiet area. Get the puck down the ice.
Here comes Zibanejad. Chips it off the board. And Wisniewski's going to get an interference penalty. Senators trying to get the Jackets to play the puck. Interference, the call against Wisniewski. And the Senators We'll have a 5-on-3 advantage for 17 seconds. 40 seconds remaining here in the first.
For interference, number 21.
Well, Zibanejad is skating in the offensive zone, chips the puck to his right. And you see Wisniewski gets that stick across his midsection. Referee in the back right corner makes the call. 5-on-3 situation here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Mark Letestu, Matt Calvert, Fedorchuk.
Columbus penalty, number 21.
In front, cross ice, right through that goal mouth, and Legwand rifled it wide. Bobby Ryan off the wall. One-timer there off the goal post. 1 second remaining in the Jack Johnson penalty. Puck in the blue paint. McElhinney trying to cover up and does, with Jack Johnson back on. And a scramble around the Jackets net, but McElhinney able to get the leather on it.
Well, that was a little bit of mayhem for the Jackets. Ottawa has a good opportunity off the side of the net. That was Legwand who has the lone goal for the Senators. And I think he might have saved that. What a play across crease. Boy, he was there with the pad.
Zibanejad will take the draw here with Artem Anisimov. A key faceoff with 20 seconds remaining. Jackets win the faceoff, and Savard, as a result, able to clear it the length of the ice.
Nice job in that faceoff circle. That's a key play right there. Late in the period, on the penalty kill. Get the faceoff, kill some time off that clock.
Crowd a little anxious here. They want the Senators to move it up, and they're called on the offside.
And how about that? Then you disrupt them on the way up the ice. Now there's only 3.8 seconds left. That's the importance of the faceoff win, and that's where the Jackets have done a very good job so far this year.
Come in tonight's sixth best in the National Hockey League, and they win another draw there. Anisimov wins it. Jackets send it the length of the ice as the horn goes to end the opening period. Ottawa outshoot the Jackets based on those back-to-back power plays late, including a brief 5-on-3. 12 shots for the Senators, 11 for the Blue Jackets. A minute 20 remaining in the Wisniewski interference penalty, but the goal by Legwand separating these two teams, who both sport records of 3-1. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Huntington Bank. At Huntington, you can bank like a real fan. Get your Blue Jackets debit card at BlueJacketsBanking.com. And by Ohio Health, the official healthcare provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets. All but set for second period play. David Legwand with a lone goal in the first 20 minutes. And our IGS energy performer through the opening period of play, none other than Robin Lehner, who turned aside all 11 Columbus Blue Jacket shots. Curtis McElhinney able to stop 11 of 12. As you get a look there at Todd Richards, how important now is this kill here? You don't want to go down 2-0. A minute 20 left in the Wisniewski penalty, Jody.
That's a good point, Jeff, and I like your point about Lehner. Goaltending has been very good for Ottawa during this 3-game winning streak. Blue Jackets got to kill this penalty and go after Lehner. Get in front of him, get to those rebounds.
Penalty upcoming here. And the power play for Ottawa will be nullified with Turris going off.
Ottawa number 7, minor penalty for hooking.
Jackets coming out with some jump off the faceoff. You can see this as it goes up the ice. Matt Calvert cannot get to that puck. 9 seconds into the period.
So 4-on-4 for the next minute and 11, and then the Blue Jackets will have an abbreviated power play. Foligno, Ryan Johansson up front. Jack Johnson, David Savard on the points. Zibanejad will take the draw. A little discussion going on between the referee and the goal judge behind the glass, behind Robin Lehner. A hooking call against Kyle Turris. Will represent the Jackets' second power play, albeit abbreviated.
Senators penalty for number 7.
Carlson steps in front of his own net. The offensive defenseman deals it on the wing for Zibanejad to the right wing. McElhinney able to turn that one aside. Foligno. Outlet pass knocked down by Jack Johnson, played here by Chris Phillips. Backpedals into his own zone. Zibanejad heads it back to the veteran Phillips. Up on that far side, Jackets with the steal, Active stick, and Johansson rips it wide of the net. Carlson handed it right to Ryan Johansson, and yet another giveaway by this Ottawa defense. That has been a problem for the Senators, and putting a little more pressure on their goaltenders, and certainly our big reason this team has been successful.
But give credit to Ryan Johansson in that play. If you looked on the screen, there was 3 Ottawa Senators, and they were going to attack up ice. Ryan Johansson was very nonchalant up there on the forecheck, waited for his opportunity, quick stick, and turned that over.
Johansson. Hartnell. Anisimov on for Johansson. There is Hartnell with a shot. It gets through Leonard and sails all the way back to the Jackets line.
Caught the shoulder of Leonard, go wide. But that was just one of those, another one-shot attempt and out for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Eriksson leads a rush. Off with Testy. Jackets on the power play now. 33 seconds left. Wisniewski dumping it in, having served the remainder of his penalty here to start the second period. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Anisimov able to fish it free. Letestu tried to play it and finishes a check there on McCulloch as Chiasson dumps it down.
Letestu there read the play. Ottawa had the puck. Letestu waited for them to try to make a pass, then tried to pick it off. Just couldn't corral it.
Here's Wisniewski heading up ice. Drops it back for Atkinson. 1 second left in the tourist penalty. He steps out. Jackets have got to be aware of him coming out of the box. Off. Oh boy. The Jackets had Leonard beat and went right off the crossbar. Atkinson had the 4th goal of this young season on his stick.
Well, how about James Wisniewski with that initial shot? Leonard didn't see it. Hit him in the right shoulder. And then the rebound came to Atkinson. He just put that puck right off the crossbar. You can see it here. The first shot gets Leonard up high. And there's Johnny on the spot, Cam Atkinson. We can see that little piece of the top corner of the net. You can see the puck graze the net, graze the pipe, and then go along and off into the corner. Nice opportunity.
2 minutes plus gone here in the second period. Puck sailing into Jackets territory. Featherton away from Legwand. Legwand throws it in front, looking for Hoffman. Rinkwand, Bull at the line. Takes a high hit there. Bull and Neal won't take much to get these two going.
Well, Chris Neal has not dropped the gloves, and the linesman got in there. So I think it will take a lot to get them going. Jared's gloves are on the ice. Chris Neal took a run at Jared Bull here is protecting the puck. Used his big body. Then Chris Neal saw him in a vulnerable position. And there he comes in. He tries to send him into the bench, and Jared said, hey, he's familiar with his work, Chris Neal. Bull, both going to stay on. Well, no penalties there, which is a good call by the ref. But Neal is off the ice, away from Jared Bull.
Backhanded by Corey Trout. Leonard. Bull. Gets it through to Chaput. Reaching for it, there is Corey Trout. Trout, who loved playing against these Senators, has had some success formerly with Buffalo. I'm talking to some of the Senators people, they love the way Trout has played against this hockey club, formerly in the same division, Jody.
That's right. They would have seen a lot of Corey Trout. He's got a lot to offer. He's got the skill there. That right-handed shot. Compliment his line mates, Chaput and Bull.
Bull to the line, but not out. Puck rifled wide of the net. Shot from up high by Greiba. Jackets able to block that. One-timer from the wing, and gloved and held as McElhinney flashes the leather.
That was a hard shot by Zibanejad. Curtis McElhinney has to do a lot of moving during this shift. And you see him, he's down, he's up. He's trying to find that puck. And this is just a little play called a one-time shot. No time on the stick. Once the puck hits the stick, it's gone. But good reaction by Curtis McElhinney.
Jack Johnson tying up the Senators forward, Bobby Ryan. Chiasson goes to the far side. He'll now play it here in the corner. Looking to walk out. Chiasson. Cross ice. Greiba with a shot. That is blocked. Borowiecki dumps it off into the corner. Behind the net, Savard tying up Chason. Loose puck picked up by Ryan Johansson. If you joined us late, one goal, it came late in period number 1. David Legwand with the second of the season. Jackets Atkinson on for Johansson. Carried in Foligno. Atkinson, quick shot. Rebound, and it's swept wide of the net. How about the number of rebounds and the quality rebounds given up by Leonard, Jody?
Yeah, but the Blue Jackets are not getting in there and finding them. Ottawa is keeping them at bay in front of Leonard. Blue Jackets have to do more to get in there and find those big opportunities.
Leonard having difficulty controlling his rebounds all night long, but he has made the initial stops, which obviously is important. One in particular, if you joined us late, perhaps one of the top stops of the young season. He got the battle down on Alexander Wenberg, who now dishes to Anisimov in full flight. Hartnell down the left side. Anisimov pulls up on that half board. On to Wenberg. Alexander Wenberg keeps the feet moving. Puck taken away. Thrown in front. Jammed at there. Hartnell on the doorstep. Wierkosh having some words. Carlson, the peacemaker, steps in front.
Columbus Blue Jackets hockey brought to you by Nationwide Insurance, the official insurance provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets.
I like that last play by Scott Hartnell. The puck got to the goal, but he came around the net tight and made sure he got his stick in there and took that extra whack. Got to get in there on Leonard, who's seeing everything and really doing a good job of finding that puck.
Jody, on that replay, you saw Stone back on the ice after taking the hit from Jack Johnson. Good to see. After a hit in open ice, down that right wing, Neal fires. Big rebound given up there by McElhaney. Up high, kept in by Legwand. Neal in the high slot. Jackets break it up. Legwand in pursuit. Signed as a free agent by general manager Brian Murray, having last season played in his native Michigan for the Red Wings. Far side of the ice. Senators. Phillips floats one in, deflected. Knocked down was Erickson in front by Legwand. Jackets play the puck along the near wall. Can't clear. Calvert can't get a stick on it. Legwand gets it back to the point, and Ceci drills it high and wide. Phillips on the left point. Unable to play that puck. Stilling. Tied up there by Smith. Loose puck for McCulloch. McCulloch chops it ahead. Matt Calvert taken to the wall there by Lazar. Up along the half wall. Smith trying to chip it ahead. Lazar, the right-handed, shooting forward. Rookie gets it across. Jackets will play it. And they're able to block the shot from the point, and it's picked up here by Borowiecki.
Well, the Senators have swarmed the Blue Jackets on this shift. It seems like there's 2 on every one Blue Jacket when they get the puck keeping their end. Blue Jackets have got to settle down and support each other a little better coming out of the zone.
Boy, Chaput got nailed along the wall, but didn't get the worst of it. And now 2-on-1 with Bull. Moves in, fires a shot. Leonard off the shoulder and then up into the glove. And we get some discussion going on here between Borowiecki and Jared Bull. They're separated. No damage done as we go to break. This one remains a 1-0 hockey game and a burst of speed. Chaput trying to create a scoring chance.
Where the Jackets trail the Sens 1-0. Now Tuesday on Fox, the Fall Classic begins as the San Francisco Giants continue their quest for their 3rd championship in the last 5 years when they head to Kansas City to take on those amazing Royals who will look to stay unbeaten in these playoffs. Coverage of the World Series begins Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern only on Fox and streaming on Fox Sports Go.
Who do you like in the World Series, Jody?
You know, I'd love to see Kansas City win it. Got a good thing going on there.
Carlson comes in off the wing, in front. And the Senators feel they have scored as McElhaney was knocked into the net. The officials have not made a motion. Mark Jeanette was behind the net. And a discussion now involving the officials, and this one will go to review. But there was no indication from Jeanette one way or the other.
Well, you can see Nick Foligno runs in to Curtis McElhaney. We know where the puck is, somewhere around McElhaney. And the celebration was a sell, it looked like.
Stone.
See the puck there on the outside of the net.
Stone had his hands in the air.
Curtis McElhinney is down, and he's being attended to by Mike Boat.
Bob
the trainer.
standing at the Jackets bench. McElhinney being attended to here by Mike Vogt.
He went in hard. They're showing the replay of the goal.
It's under review. And Mark Jeanette will put on the headphones here.
As they look at it, we'll take a look at it. You can see the play is funneled towards the net. Nick Foligno is down, tries to get up. He laid out to try to intercept the pass. You see Curtis, boy, he's down. He's upside down there. Long discussion between Curtis McElhinney and Mike Vogt. That's not a good sign. I guess it is a good sign because he's making sure that, okay, you know, he's probably asking the question. He's got time. He knows it. Take your time.
Meantime, Bobrovsky is out stretching, and here's the announcement.
After review, the decision on the ice stays. It's a good goal.
I never saw Jeanette point to the net, but they're calling it a goal.
He was standing behind the net, and it looked like it was very subtle, but it wasn't direct that we usually see. Curtis is going to the bench. Sergei Bobrovsky is getting ready after this collision between Nick Foligno and Curtis McElhinney.
McElhinney, fortunately, getting off under his own steam, but does look a little rattled there, and shook up as he makes his way under the tunnel and to the Blue Jackets dressing room. So the Senators lead 2-0. Bobrovsky, who is to get the night off, comes on in relief.
Yeah, Sergei had a full night last night. Had a day today, and I mean, he's prepared for this. He knew that you always know there's an opportunity to come in, obviously. And with Curtis getting injured in that collision, that last play at the net, Sergei comes in cold off the bench, right into the action.
Carlson with the goal. A 2-0 Ottawa lead. Bobrovsky gets to feel the puck here right off the bat.
That's a nice little warm-up shot. Call it little from up here, but nice warm-up shot for Sergei from the outside. He could see it. He just gathered it in. No rebound. There he is at the top of that blue paint again. Stretching out.
MacArthur draws the lone assist. Goal at 7:02. Senators 2, Jackets no score. Over the stick of Matt Calvert. The Senators certainly have the jump here now, leading by a pair as it's rifled in by Hoffman. Jackets withstood a penalty shot in this hockey game, awarded to Senators. But goals by Legwand and Carlson, who had 3 goals in the season series last year. Puck knocked down with a high stick.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, read how the Blue Jackets have started to build chemistry. Check out video of Kyrie and LeBron's alley-oop slam dunk and get behind-the-scenes coverage of tonight's game on the Game Day Live page. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports, brought to you by 1-800-SAFEAUTO.com. Drive safe, spend less.
You know, the Senators are quick at transition. They're getting up the ice quick. That's where that penalty shot came from. That last goal by Carlson, they got out of their zone quickly, got up in the Blue Jackets zone, and threw that attempt at net. Columbus has got to learn or get on this now and take it to Ottawa, get in their zone, and rattle that puck around Leonard.
Todd Hartnell looking for his first goal. Now your former teammate, how's he handling this, Jody? I know that he's had the opportunities, but hasn't found the back of the net.
He wants to contribute. He's playing well. He's getting opportunities. And how about this? He's out there now with Ryan Johansson and Nick Foligno. I know he likes this opportunity to get out there with those guys. And, you know, from the bench, you can see the chemistry out there. You want to be a part of that action. All these guys want to contribute. And right now, down 2-0 on the road, just trying to get something going.
Now, they've certainly had their fair chances here. Right now, looking at a 2-goal deficit, but plenty of time remaining. We've yet to reach the midway point of the second period or the hockey game. Johansson down the right wing. Across the line, Hartnell goes to the net. He's drawn a penalty. Jackets will go on the power play here. Bobrovsky, the long march to the opposite side of the ice. Jackets have 6 skaters on. The crowd not at all happy. The Jackets will go to the power play for the 3rd time tonight. Unless they can score right here with the extra attacker on. Foligno fires. Around here for Hartnell on the right side. Hartnell takes a high stick. Lazar got the stick up. Right side, Hartnell will let the Senators touch up. And a hooking penalty will put the Jackets on the power play.
And it's Ryan Johansson who has the puck. And he's coming down the wing, and he just gets his hands hooked. It's pretty subtle. You can see it there under his stick. Referee made that easy
number
call.
15, two-minute hooking.
There's a better look at it. You see that stick, it's right underneath his hands. And any hook around that hand is a pretty automatic call. Good opportunity here for the Columbus Blue Jackets on the power play. Need to establish more offensive zone presence on this one.
Create some traffic in front of Leonard. Get those rebounds on the second shots. Artem Anisimov handing the puck to Wennberg. On for Letestu. Mark Letestu joining us right off the top of the telecast. Not all that concerned about points. More concerned about his all-round game. Here lets one fly. That Anisimov was able to redirect but send it wide of the net. Reaching for it is Phillips. Letestu sweeps it back here to Jack Johnson. Savard waits at the right point. Letestu looking for the handle. And it's Hoffman. Able to walk up ice. Hoffman fires, and he's way off the mark. Puck ricochets for Wennberg down the right wing. Waits for reinforcements. Drops it back for Anisimov. Anisimov in front. Off Letestu. Leonard had no idea where it went. That may have glanced off his face mask, but knocked down with a high stick. And in fact, it did go off that mask, and Leonard will now get some help with repairing the mask or getting a new one.
It's a good high, hard shot from Artem Anisimov. See Wennberg there with the puck. He got it off that missed shot by Hoffman, it went all the way around the far side of the rink. Good transition, and that's a high shot right up under the chin of Leonard, and that plastic throat guard broke, so they just removed it off his mask. You can see it's gone now. He usually wears a protective plastic case that hangs down. They just removed it as he heads back to his net.
Jackets with 1:13 left on the power play. James Wisniewski carries to center. Wisniewski drops it back. Foligno follows through and across the line. Foligno fights off a check. Eriksson up high. Wisniewski walking the line. Dishes to Johansson. Camped in front. Scott Hartnell. Johansson for Hartnell. Hartnell, Johansson. 48 seconds left on the power play. Hartnell into the slot. Ripped there by Eriksson and deflected wide again. Senators able to clear. Zibanejad sends it the length of the ice, and Bobrovsky will send it ahead there for Anisimov. Drop back. Jackets Eriksson. On here to Johansson. Ahead for Foligno. Foligno, Wisniewski. Eriksson. Far side. Quick shot. Save Leonard. Unable to get to the rebound. There was Hartnell. Johansson gets it back. Hands it here to Foligno. 15 seconds left on the power play. Eriksson wants it. Drills it here. Ricochets. And then glove in front. But since it was played from one Senator to the Jackets, play allowed to continue. Here in front, Hartnell moved off the wall. Jackets as Smith steps out. Foligno sweeps to the far boards. Johansson will drop it back. Tim Eriksson waiting as Hartnell late in the shift. He'll chop it in. Under out of the net. Hands to Ceci. Rimmed around the boards, and MacArthur on the left wing. The outlet pass for Kyle Turris. In full flight across the line. Turris top of the circle. Bobrovsky there on the edge of the blue paint and hangs on. 8:44 left. Second period. Senators lead 2-0.
Well, Brad Larson, you're down a couple of goals. You've lost your goaltender. How do you get the spark?
You know, I've liked a lot of our game. We've had some chances. We made a couple mistakes, and it's cost us. I mean, it is what it is right now, and we need something to spark us here. Maybe get a goal, get us going again.
It is a matter of turning the scoring opportunities into goals. It's just a fraction of an inch away, I feel.
Yeah, we're close. We're close. Again, you got to stick with the process here right now, get it behind their D, and keep working.
Zibanejad wins the draw. Bobby Ryan has the puck, glance off his stick, recovers, tries to walk to the front of the net before sending it back between the two Ottawa defensemen, and the Senators will have to regroup in their own zone. And Jody, Mike Vogt remains back in the Blue Jackets dressing room as we look across the ice, and no Curtis McElhinney.
Yeah, he's still back there. Hopefully he's okay. We'll try to get some information on that situation. Yeah, not good not seeing Curtis come back out of that tunnel yet.
8 minutes, 13 seconds remaining here in the second period. Shots are even at 18. Senators leading 2-0 on goals by Legwand and Carlson as you get a look there at Chaput.
Here comes that Chaput line with Jared Bull and Corey Trop. These guys are looking to get some energy out here for the Blue Jackets. Maybe have some good offensive zone time and pass that energy down the lineup.
On the last full strength shift to the Johansson line, we did not see Atkinson. Then again, Jody, on the power play, we saw Hartnell out there with Johansson and not Atkinson.
Yeah, Hartnell, Johansson, Foligno, we saw an even strength shift and then the power play. And then we saw Wennberg out there with Letestu and Anisimov. So a few changes down there for Todd Richards and his group. It is a back-to-back night. They're not getting the opportunities they want offensively. Good time to change things up, and he's doing that.
And he's doing it right here with Letestu, Anisimov, and Skilly forming a forward line. Anisimov wins the draw from Turris. Here's Dalton Trout sending it off the wall, looking for Skilly. Deep in Ottawa territory. Senators will chop it behind. That's Carlson. Turned around the wall. Good save at the line there by Skilly. Second effort, and the Senators will dump it. The length of the ice, it's icing. 7.5 minutes left.
Saturday, November 15th is Hockey and Heels, presented by Myers Jewelers. Enjoy a ladies' night out and discuss the game with special Blue Jackets guests and NHL referees in a fun and casual environment. Package includes a game ticket, hors d'oeuvres and drinks, a gift and more for just $65. Reserve your spot now at bluejackets.com/hockeyandheels.
Take us inside the mind of Todd Richards. Is he going with the players that he thinks are performing at this point here, Jody?
Well, he might be sending messages to guys. I mean, it's one of those things. He's looking for anything to get going, and you got it. Really, the indication is on the ice of the players and the effort they're giving it.
And look at Anisimov. Walk around the defense. Skilly keeps the feet moving away from Carlson. Up high here for Eriksson. Ricochets off a leg and wide. Anisimov stepping away from Turris. Good burst of speed shown up ice by Artem Anisimov there, who scored in each of the Jackets' first 2 games. And would like to get back on the score sheet. Jackets with a pressure run. Skilly keeps the feet moving. Turris can't make a play. Phillips without a stick right now. His stick left in the slot, broken. And now gets a stick from one of his forwards and uses it to send it up, but not out. Eriksson off the wall. Somebody moved that stick from the slot. It's walked out of the zone by Carlson. He steps to center and will dump it wide. The official will finally pick up the stick. The referee hustles over as play continues. 6:15 left. Second period. Tim Eriksson ahead for Hartnell with Foligno and Johansson. Shot, rebound, scores! Jackets get on the board. Johansson will continue a goal-scoring streak. Johansson out there with Hartnell and Foligno, and finally the Jackets are on the board, and yet another rebound given up by Leonard.
And they got to this one, and that's a good sign. Scotty Hartnell puts the puck up in the air, and it had a little backspin on it. Right there, he flips it up. Foligno's just busting through the middle. He gets his stick on it and makes the play at the net initially.
You know, I don't know if Johansson got it.
Looks like Ceci might have, or Well, one of those guys, one of those Senators got a piece of it, I think.
I think it'll be Foligno's.
So it was a rebound. But I like the mindset of getting that puck at the net.
Following up the initial shot, Leonard has been giving up those big rebounds all night long. And that's something I'm sure, you tell me, is being discussed on the bench amongst the players.
Well, there's the message. Just at least go there. Get to that rebound. It's going to go in somehow, or at least give you a good opportunity.
5:34 left. A 2-1 hockey game. Johansson across the line. Hands it here to Foligno. Nothing wrong with scoring twice on the same shift, and they do! David Savard from the point, redirected it just like that. The Jackets have tied it up, and what's that about the worst lead in hockey, a 2-goal lead? The Jackets with back-to-back goals, and they have tied it up.
Another no-nonsense, just get the puck to the net. I bet you this is the message that Todd Richards and his coaching staff have been telling the guys down there. Get it to the net. David Savard wastes no time. You've got Ryan Johansson and Scotty Hartnell crashing in front. Might have been redirected right in front of Leonard.
Ottawa's called a timeout here as Paul McLean wants to obviously talk to his troops here. We talked from the outset of the telecast tonight, Jody, about the adventures in the Ottawa zone amongst their defensemen. It's been an Achilles heel. The goaltenders have certainly been sharp up until this point. Big rebounds all night long from Leonard, who has made the initial stop, and now back-to-back goals by the Jackets. And they have tied up this hockey game.
And it's funny how it works. I mean, you've seen good opportunities by the Columbus Blue Jackets early in the game. They seem to come out with some good jump. But it's the Ottawa Senators who get the first 2 goals. But I like how the Blue Jackets have found their game. Direct the pucks at the net. Look for the bounce. Bounces are creative. You saw one with the first goal, and a few seconds later, good shot, and I think that might have been touched in front. Beat Leonard.
Well, the Jackets certainly didn't have luck on their side in that opening period, hitting crossbars and the like. Cam Atkinson out there now after sitting on the bench for the last several minutes. He's out there. Alexander Wenberg and Matt Calvert. Wenberg moving to center ice here on this line.
Yeah, Atkinson switched spots with Scotty Hartnell.
Right side for Stone. Left wing, that pass a little high for MacArthur. Tries to play it off the wall. Backhands it ahead. Chris Phillips in deep. Sergei Bobrovsky on in relief if you've joined us late for Curtis McElhinney, who left after the second goal, credited to Carlson as Foligno colliding with his netminder, tossing him into the back of the Jackets net. But Bobrovsky now trying to see through the crowd, and does, flashing the leather, gloves it, and hangs on. Well, the Blue Jackets celebrate here with back-to-back goals, 13:57. And then less than a minute later, David Savard unassisted. We're tied at 2. 2-2 the score, 4:26 remaining. The 2 goal scores for the Jackets.
2 very different goals. Nick Foligno does the work, throws it at the net. Oh, he gets a nice little bounce off the defender for the Ottawa Senators. And here's David Savard, wastes no time with the puck, directs it at the net with traffic in front. 2-2 here in Ottawa.
Foligno scores the first, assists on the second. The 2 goals 41 seconds apart. And with a hand pass, play whistled down, 4:17 left. Shots are even, the score is even. Tied at 2. Nick Foligno, outstanding training camp and preseason. He led the Jackets in preseason scoring, and he has picked up where he left off. He played with a lot more confidence, and I think a big reason why his play during the Stanley Cup playoffs and that playoff series against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's got definitely a good way about him. Great with the puck. And I love that compliment that him and Ryan Johansson have had to this point so far, and Ryan not being a cap. And there's a look at Dalton Prout. There's a guy who's came in, Jeff, and had an impressive start to the season. Dalton's a guy, he had that surgery last year. It was a groin problem, hip surgery, whatever it was. It wasn't hip, it was
abdominal.
hernia. He comes back, didn't really get his footing till after Christmas. Boy, but this year he's healthy and he feels more confident, and you can see it in his game. +4 to this point, playing with Fedor Tyutin.
Tyutin amongst the league leaders in plus-minus. Off to a great start. There's Wisniewski juggled, and Leonard will cover up.
Good job by Jack Skilly getting in there. There was no rebound that time, but Jack Skilly right to the front of the net. You can see more presence after the initial shot by the Blue Jackets, crashing Leonard.
Thinking back to that Dallas game, the Jackets, as you get a look there at Skilly, let Dallas get out to the 2-0 lead. And then the Jackets kind of took the pedal off the metal here. They tied it up. They've got to continue to press and force play in front of Leonard.
Yeah, it's different situations. You know, that start wasn't great at Dallas, but what they do last game, they had a great start against the Calgary Flames. And then they took the foot off the gas a little bit. And tonight, they get behind. Here they battle back. And like you said, Jeff, they need to keep building on this, what they've done so far tonight.
Skilly down that right side. On to Letestu. They've added an assist on the goal by Foligno. Hartnell draws the first assist. And Tim Erickson has picked up an assist on the Foligno goal. A little more than 3 minutes remaining here in the second. Shot to the point. Gryba. Bobrovsky never saw it. And it sailed wide of the net. Mike Vogt back on the Blue Jackets bench. Camp next to Craig Hartsburg, who has returned after missing last night's game. Johansson trying to split the defense and walk in. Plays it off the wall for Hartnell, who remains out there. Alongside Foligno and Johansson. Long shot. Redirected off the stick of Leonard.
How about Johansson starting this shift? Another interception of a pass. That's 3 this period. Takeaways on the Ottawa Senators by Ryan Johansson alone.
Johansson in the slot tried to tip it back to Savard. Watch out. Hoffman again with that speed, but this time Savard's able to sweep it away.
Yeah, Hoffman's really showed speed tonight.
That speed created a penalty shot earlier on, and he just cross-checks Savard, who checks the number there. As Borowiecki camped behind Leonard with a little more than 2 minutes left. Brown. Trying to encourage the hometown Senators as Chiasson drills in. Bobby Ryan in the corner for Zibanejad. Back to Ryan. Bobrovsky hugging that far post, able to turn it aside. Good work there by Calvert along the boards. Calvert now sprints free. Calvert comes in on the left wing, spins, turns, hangs onto that puck. Tried to feed Wenberg. Shot by Wisniewski, redirected and wide. Jurkosh tied up Atkinson, who tried to get a stick on it. Atkinson backing up his defenseman. Sends it around the boards. Calvert behind the net. Second shift here for this line. Calvert, Wenberg, who remains at center. And Cam Atkinson. Long shot there, fought off by Leonard. A little more than a minute left now. 1:13 to be exact. Zibanejad up the far wall. It gets away from Tyutin. Back in neutral ice. Tyutin walks into his own end. Away from Chiasson. Tried to lead Jared Bull. It sails a length of the ice, and it's icing.
Good previous shift from Atkinson, Calvert, and Wenberg. Time in the offensive zone. Good opportunities towards the net. Good hard-working plays. At one point we saw Cam Atkinson covering for the defenseman and made a very good, simple play to get it behind the net. Keep the play alive in the offensive zone, especially late in the period. We're under 2 minutes left. Now it's only 1:01 left. Good puck management at the end of this period.
Last minute of play in the second period.
Less than a minute to go here in the second as Corey Trott chips it off the wall on a backhand. Carlson pressured here by Jared Bull, who hammers the Senators' captain. Left wing MacArthur dumps it wide of the net. Stone tries to get to it. Sharp from a sharp angle. Bobrovsky able to make the stop. And now the Jackets have cleared his trap. Able to get it out of the zone. Kyle Turris to the right wing. Late in the shift, Jared Bull. Here's MacArthur. Unable to settle down that bouncing puck. Out of the corner, Turris. Up high, that's Stone. Stone off the glove of Bobrovsky. Thrown back, top of the circle. A shot deflected by the active stick of the Jackets defenseman in front and out of play.
Good job there defending. And then remember that hit by Jared Boll in the offensive zone. He hit Carlson like you said, but Carlson took that hit, it bounced off the glass and raced up the ice. Had an opportunity on net. So involved. He's down low on the goal line. He's playing defense. He's a good skater and he can cover both. But he created a little bit of havoc for the Jackets in their defensive zone.
You and I were downstairs as Carlson made his way into the building. He was a little surprised at his size. He's really not that big.
Yeah, he's not a very big guy.
But he's talented and 100% recovered from the torn Achilles tendon. Very skilled defenseman. Named captain just prior to the start of the season as the horn goes to end the second period.
Yeah, that was a sliced Achilles tendon he had by his skate.
Right.
It took a while to heal, but boy, he hasn't lost any quickness.
Matt Cook was the one that sliced the back of his leg and forced that Achilles injury that cost him quite a bit of time for the Senators Hockey Club. 40 minutes in the books. We're tied at 2. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Roush Honda. The best way to say Honda is Roush Honda. And by Ticketmaster. Score. Get the only NHL tickets sold by fans and verified by Ticketmaster. It's all hockey, no hassle right now at NHL.com/ticket exchange. All but set for third period play, but before they drop the puck, it's time for tonight's AT&T Rewind. For that, we head to New Jersey, where the Devils are hosting the Jackets. Next opponent on the road, the San Jose Sharks. No score in the first as we pick up the play.
And it's Pavelski in front of the net, gets a rebound, puts it up top. That makes it 1-0. Currently, 3-0 San Jose over the New Jersey Devils.
Sergei Bobrovsky on in relief of Curtis McElhinney. Nick Foligno, a goal and an assist in that second period, 41 seconds apart. The Jackets come off the 2-0 deficit to tie it up on the goal by David Savard. And we are underway with the third. And Hartnell continues to play the left wing alongside Ryan Johansson and Nick Foligno. Hartnell slips and falls. Carlson, right wing for Neal, steered ahead. Tossed by Bobrovsky for Dalton Prout. Right wing Foligno. Outlet pass off the stick of Hartnell. And moved by Phillips back into Jackets territory. Hustling is Prout. Moved along by Bobrovsky. Shot quickly by Neal, but the Jackets step in front of it.
Sergei moved the puck around the boards. There was no Columbus Blue Jacket player in that post on that wing. Chris Neal got the puck and threw it at the net.
Now, is that communication?
It could be a communication, yeah.
Or lack thereof. Prout wrestled to the ice, picked up by Jack Skilling. Racing down that right side, fights through the check. Here's Skilling from a sharp angle, fires a shot that sails wide of the net and ricochets all the way back out to center ice. Smith tees it up there for McCullough. Back for Smith, and he rifles it wide of the net. Jack Skilling back for the Jackets. End to end we go. The trailer, Jack Johnson, and it's off the blocker there of Leonard.
Good to see a shot hit the net. Keep the puck in the zone.
McCulloch pressure. Burkosh waits for it. That's Greiba camped behind Leonard. We're at the 92nd mark of this third period. A 2-2 tie. Senators. First period goal by Legwand. Second period goal by Carlson. That chased McElhinney out of the net. There's Zibanejad in front. Thrown up high. A shot deflected. Wraparound attempt. Curtis McElhinney remains back in the Jackets dressing room. Nothing official as to his condition.
He took a heavy collision with Nick Foligno. Forced him out of the net. Sergei to come in. Hopefully he's okay.
Wenberg. Long left wing feed for Matt Calvert. Jackets hustle. Atkinson, Calvert, and Wenberg continue as a unit. Cam Atkinson back here. Shot by Wisniewski. Deflected wide off the stick of Matt Calvert. Senators. Walking out of the zone, and it's Carlson. Walking in. Fought off by Bobrovsky. Jackets chip the rebound back into Senators territory.
Carlson took that shot through the defenseman. Almost used Eriksson as a screen and got it off Bobrovsky, who just kind of juggled it up high.
Phillips dishes it on the wing for Stone. Phillips backpedaling away from the forecheck. Carlson rifles in. Oh boy, that one right off the referee, Jeanette. Mark Jeanette appears to be all right. What is this? Every game we see an official get banged up.
Yeah, we saw a couple get hit by shots in the last 2 games, and now Jeanette takes one. He's got a little limp in his step there.
Chaput sends it deep. Moved by Stone for Carlson. Long shift for him. Rink wide. Senators gain the zone. Hoffman, the shot blocked by Dalton Prout, whose stick broke in the shaft. Good move there. Alertly played by Hartnell off the glass and back into Ottawa territory. Slingshot right back in to the Jackets end of the ice. Hartnell takes a hit there from Neal. Puck rolling on in. Legwand gets an arm around Foligno. Puck swept to the corner there. Legwand can't make a play. Foligno does. Slides ahead for Johansson. Right side comes Hartnell. Johansson walks around the defenseman. Turned around on the play. Gets right back up and finishes a check.
That started in the defensive zone for Johansson with a nice steal and a nice move there on the end of that play. Try to trick the defenseman with a little, flipped it up in the air and then try to shake.
4+ minutes of continuous action on that right wing. There's Skilly in front. It was tipped and Leonard able to handle the rebound. Deflected off the stick of Skilly and Leonard was there.
Nice quick play by Jack Skilly to Mark Letestu, who just drove between the defensemen. You see Mark coming to the pitcher right there. He is between the defensemen. That forces them to make a decision. Nice little tip. Leonard had to make a pretty hard save there.
Letestu wins the draw. David Savard, who ties it up, rips it wide of the net. Played here on the half wall. Battle ensues. Skilly. This is Ceci. Wirkosh. Headman's that puck and the Jackets will hammer it right back in.
Quickly on the turnover. The puck was bobbled in the middle. Good job just to pound it right back in the offensive zone.
Ceci steps to center. Across the line. Rips it wide of the net. Takes a wicked bounce off the backboard. And Bobrovsky had to be sharp. Not once but twice from point blank range. And then the wraparound attempt.
That's the second wraparound save we've seen this period. Quick plays behind the net by the Ottawa Senators, trying to attack that right side. You see the puck go behind the net. Quick wraparound. He gets the pad, and we've seen him do the splits. Just quickly flips that pad over, sticks his skate against the post.
That was the rookie Lazar, again, first-round draft pick of these Senators, out of the Edmonton Oil Kings organization. Now, you spent some time out west. Oil Kings, one of the perennial junior hockey franchises in Western Canada that always seem to be in the playoffs or Memorial Cup.
Yeah, they play at the Rexall place there in Edmonton. Big venue where the Oilers play. He's living with Chris Phillips. Just moved in with Chris Phillips and his family.
Really?
And 3 kids. Little home cooking for Lazar.
Right wing. Calvert sends it towards the net. Redirected. Leonard, no idea where it is. And the loose puck picked up by Bobby Ryan.
That's another deflection. We just saw one with Letestu.
Across the line, Carlson deflected. And ever alert following that shot through is Bobrovsky, who flashes the leather.
Carlson's stick broke on that play. Here's Sergei. Saw the puck go up. He was down in the crouch, but he got up and snagged it. Stopped the play. Reset here for the Jackets. Defensive zone faceoff. Ryan Johansson.
During that stoppage, Carlson skated around without a stick, looked up at the video scoreboard here and wanted one more look at it, and then looked to the heavens, and why did that stick break at that inopportune time? MacArthur edges it in, races after it, finishes a check there on 2. Able to fish it free. Turris to the point. Ryba into the corner for MacArthur, who looks to cycle it out. Help from Turris. Jackets defend along the near boards, and they clear the zone as Foligno races away. Foligno trailed by Johansson. Foligno turning away, tosses it behind the net. Johansson in pursuit. Ryba is there. Corey Tropp off the bench. Tropp tied up by Gryba. Played by Stone. Trop able to get it back. On for Foligno. Nick Foligno out of the corner. Chaput cycling along with him. Kick free for Chaput off his stick. Senators pressured, and it's out of the zone, but Foligno doesn't give up on it. Hands it back to his defenseman.
What a shift by Nick Foligno. Buying time in the middle of a change. Both his line mates went one at a time to get off, but he stayed out there. Good puck possession in the offensive zone as that other line of Jared Bull and Chaput trickled out one at a time.
Bouncing puck, settle down. Hirkak, headman. This is Legwand, threw it across the line. Throws it on the backhand across the goal mouth. Legwand looks to walk out of the corner as he collides briefly there with the official. Thrown right there through the blue paint. The Jackets will play it along the near boards. Jack Johnson pressured there by Hoffman. There's Chaput late in the shift. Takes a hit from Hoffman.
Nice patience by Chaput. Got his head up, held onto the puck, didn't just chip it away. Found the open man, made the play.
We are seeing all kinds of different combinations here. 2-2 tie. Todd Richards looks for something to get the Jackets on the board here, having come from behind to tie it up. Ceci away from Skilling. McCulloch, Hirkak at the line. McCulloch, left wing, shot sails wide of the net and sails all the way back to the Ottawa line. Carlson settles it down.
Another one of those shots missing the far side, and it ends up going all the way out of the zone.
Turnover, and Letestu sends one off the blocker of Leonard. 11:54 left, third period. Entertaining hockey game. Tied at 2 from the Canadian capital. We're back after this. Netminders have been busy here tonight. Leonard on the left. Bobrovsky on in relief of Curtis McElhinney, who remains back in the Blue Jackets dressing room. And time for tonight's Ohio Health Great Save. We'll go back to the first period, Jody.
That's right, and it's Leonard on the rookie, Wenberg, who might have thought he had a goal there, but Leonard puts down the paddle, shuts the door. What a save by that man.
The goal stick was down. The paddle preventing Alexander Wenberg from scoring his first goal. Zibanejad tosses it in front after the initial shot was knocked down by James Wisniewski. Reaching forth there is Chason. Here comes Matt Calvert. Calvert with a goal and an assist last night, including the game winner. Calvert on the wing. It goes off a leg, that of Carlson, with Wenberg in pursuit. Atkinson fans on the attempted shot. Throws it into the slot. Played by the Senators. One-handed and down that right wing. This is Carlson. Carlson drops it back. Bobby Ryan with a shot that Calvert is able to drop in front of and send it high and out of play. Let's check out tonight's AET Power Play summary. Both teams with few opportunities here. All 4 goals scored at even strength.
There's the big signing, Bobby Ryan. Signed that deal to stay in Ottawa. He's a big part of his future, him and Carlson.
Bouncing puck, settled down by Hartnell. Hartnell had it knocked away, goes right back at it. Crowd looking for a penalty call for high sticking as Borowiecki took a little lumber. Meantime, the shot sails wide of the net at the other end. Borowiecki getting attended to on that Ottawa bench after colliding with the stick of Scott Hartnell. Approaching the midway point of this third period. Tied at 2. Tootin dumps in. Far side of the ice. Jackets pressure. Artem Anisimov. Skilly finishes the check.
Good speed by Skilly to close that.
Hoffman scores over the shoulder of Bobrovsky on the backhand. 3-2 Ottawa.
Jack Skilly throwing the body there. It's a bouncing puck off the dasher. And you see Savard, he's kind of in a tough position because Jack Johnson is on the back of Hoffman. Savard doesn't want to commit over to Hoffman because Jack Johnson is right there. You can see his stick waving at the puck. And then Hoffman used that little extra space, get the puck on his backhand and go upstairs to beat Bobrovsky.
Hoffman's first of the season, fourth NHL goal. Jackets come right back. Skilly lets one fly. This time, Leonard is able to hang up.
Good idea by Jack. We saw a couple rushes by the Blue Jackets, maybe getting too cute inside the zone. And Eastmouth drives the middle, kicks it wide. Jack Skilly wastes no time. That shoot the puck mentality should be carried throughout the rest of this game for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hoffman had a penalty shot stopped by McElhaney. Here in the third period, the backhand over the shoulder of Bobrovsky. The Senators have regained the lead. Lazar in pursuit. Savard defending. Letestu off the wall here for Skilly with Anisimov. Anisimov falls, gets right back up, hustles after that puck but can't reach it. Carlson for Phillips. We've passed the midway point of this third period. 3-2 Senators. Rolling puck, stepping up on it as Eriksson can't play it.
Yeah, rolling puck, Jeff. It seems to be taking some funny bounces here in the last little bit.
Jared Bull in the off wing. Can't get to it. Bobby Ryan for the Senators. The crowd brought back to life with the go-ahead goal. And it's up to the Jackets to silence them. Up the wing. Drop offside. 9:16 left. Third period. Ottawa 3. The Blue Jackets 2. David Savard, who tied the score in the second period. He is the subject of our Big Lots Big Play.
We go back to David Savard, and he wasted no time. After the work here, Nick Foligno looks up. Savard gets that puck only on his stick. For a brief half second, he releases that puck. Got tipped in front, changed directions, beat Leonard. That had to feel good for David Savard.
Those two goals, 42 seconds apart. Foligno and Savard. Jackets trailed 2-0, tied it at 2. Forced to come from behind here again, and Jody, take us down to that Jackets bench. And we've seen Todd Richard try to juggle the lines to find a combination for the team. What's he telling his players, and what's being said amongst the players themselves here as we pan the bench?
Well, this is a second game. It's a back-to-back. They played last night. He's got to go with whoever's showing him something now. And we see him do that, trying to find a combination to get something to make sure to try to get these points here tonight. So the players are they know what they have to do. Sometimes it's just not easy to execute those simple plays even, but they have to work and push here just to get the puck out of their own end, get it to the neutral zone, and get it on Leonard.
Atkinson, Calvert, and Wenberg, the youngsters that are seeing the ice time here in the third. Could fatigue be a factor?
Definitely, but it's not an excuse. These guys know that.
Back-to-back games. Jackets traveled here. You wonder about the ice time of Ryan Johansson, who's averaging close to 20 minutes, and of course, not involved in training camp or any of the preseason. He remains out there with Foligno and Hartnell. Puck turned over, but sent wide of the net. Jackets Hartnell sends it out. Ryba backpedals to his own blue line. Puck sails deep as the pass intended there for Hoffman, and icing the call.
After every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game and talks to the players and coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. IGS Energy, take control of your natural gas costs. Enroll at IGSenergy.com.
You know, he asked the question about Ryan Johansson. I don't see it. I mean, of course, he's going to feel better every game, but boy, he's looked sharp. He's made great decisions, smart decisions, stealing pucks. And here he is lining up Hartnell where he wants him, straight behind him on the faceoff for offensive zone try to play. He won the draw, but didn't get that shot off to Hartnell.
Johansson averaging, sorry about that, Jody, close to 20 minutes in each of the previous two games. He may not get there tonight. 10 minutes plus through 2 periods of play. Dalton Trout the shot. Leonard juggles the rebound, but is able to recover, and we get some pushing and shoving here now.
Hartnell just throwing blind.
Line brawl. There's a Jacket down. That's Foligno at the bottom of the pile.
Not surprised he's in the middle of it. Neither am I surprised that Hartnell's in the middle of it. Johansson in there to help out. Chris Neal there, tough guy out in the right, taking advantage of no Jared Bowen. That's Hartnell throwing a hit in the corner. And then he gets in and pokes at Leonard right here. Gets in, fights for position, keeps going at Borowiecki. They're still tangled up down there. Nick Foligno and Chris Neal.
Well, Borowiecki and Hartnell are each going off for roughing here. While we have a moment, how about the PNC game summary, Jody?
Yeah, let's take a look here. Still pretty good in the face-offs. The Jackets, everything looks pretty even except the hits. Ottawa's throwing a few more of those, but it's been a bit of a scrambly game at points. Opportunities going either way, and that's the way games are going to go. This is a road game for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They're getting down to that crucial time. They're now under 8 minutes left. They're down a goal. 4-on-4 hockey. Got to stay on the attack and stay with their game.
Letestu and Anisimov work up front. Jack Johnson and David Savard. Chris Phillips dishes it on the wing. That's Carlson. Rink wide. Lazar across the line. Lazar pulls up. Lazar sweeps it ahead. McCulloch pinned along the board. Lazar trying to walk to the net. Jackets poke check it away. Phillips up high, shot. And the save made by Bobrovsky, and he will hold on.
No rebound there. Nice little decision. He had it right in his belly. Jackets get the change here. Sergei came in here. Curtis McElhinney. A collision with Nick Foligno on a goal, and he got helped off the ice. He's in the back locker room. Curtis McElhinney has. Sergei came in cold, and he's looked good. He let in that last goal over the shoulder, but no rebounds.
Calvert cutting in, save Leonard, can't control the rebound. It goes off the stick and quickly Calvert's right back on it. On for Atkinson. Calvert. Wisniewski retreats to the point. Calvert protecting that puck. Look for Atkinson. Just beyond his reach. Bobby Ryan far side. Calvert. He's got the legs going tonight.
These two guys, Calvert,
Atkinson behind the defense. Oh, he tried to stick handle it right by Leonard. Great work there by the Jackets. Atkinson. Tootin, Wisniewski, settled down by Tootin. Feder Tootin off the point. Tootin fires towards the net. It's blocked. Loose puck. Calvert tried to backhand it. Bobby Ryan will walk it away from difficulty to the line and out, sweeping it into Jackets territory. No icing here. Waved off by the linesman. 6:10 left. Tootin on for Jack Johnson with Foligno. Johnson across the line, tries to walk in. Puck rolls off his stick and played by Ceci. He's paired with Weirkoch. Ceci behind Leonard. Less than 6 minutes left. Drop pass. Picked up there by Ceci. Tossed to the far side. Jason. Right-handed shot down the left wing. He's got Smith with him. Close to being offside. Ceci fires. Bobrovsky had the angle. Thrown back in front. Off the skate of Bobrovsky and just trickled wide in the open net. Back at full strength. Borowiecki and Hartnell, who's asking for the puck. He waits at the offensive blue line. Nobody saw him there. And this is Foligno weaving through the neutral zone with Johansson and Hartnell. 5:20 left. Jackets step up. This is Jack Johnson trying to squeeze through along the boards. Weirkoch on for Stone. Stone headmans that puck. Quick shot, MacArthur. Now an attempt there by Turris that's blocked. Eriksson. Backhands it, gets away from Wenberg. Jumping and hustling to it there. There's Hartnell who would toss it back.
Hartnell's going to try to get it back to Jack Johnson, who's going to change, but regroup and come off the ice in a unit.
Hartnell, touch pass there for Wenberg. Oh, that ricocheted off the Ottawa player. A collision ensues, and the same net that cost the Jackets the services tonight of McElhinney. A collision involving Leonard, who appears to be favoring the leg and skates it off. Skilly, after that collision, seeing some attention from Mike Vogt on the bench. Let's take a look at it.
Jack Skilly had the speed, and he had Chris Neal coming across in the middle of the ice to come over and plant him, but Jack planted his shoulder down on Neal, and that caused that loud, and they were coming at top speed. Big collision. Everyone seems okay. Leonard, Neal, and Jack Skilly just went out and tested his skates to make sure everything was fine, but boy, that was a loud, heavy collision down there at that end of Leonard's net.
4 minutes, 37 seconds left. Battle along the boards. Loose puck. Played by Greiba. Off the wall and out to center. Jackets send it back ahead. Atkinson with speed. Atkinson, quick shot. Off the right pad of Leonard. Here's Eriksson. A scramble in front. Loose puck down as Leonard. Jackets can't lift it. Artem Anisimov. The Jackets certainly are getting their quality chances, Jody.
But Ottawa is doing a very, very good job in front of their own net, tying up the Blue Jackets, not letting them get real close, and those rebounds are tough to get to. Columbus has got to battle and find them.
Foligno now, hustling into the zone. Foligno takes a high hit there from Borowiecki. Chopped out of the zone. Jackets, better two. Hartnell. Across the line, Johansson splits the defense and then fires from a sharp angle. Jackets again in front. High stick there on Foligno. Nick Foligno is down. No call. Gets back up, sets the screen. Jackets battle for the puck. Johansson fires. Leonard off his shoulder. Here's Johansson with another attempt. Down is Leonard. Bouncing puck up high. Saved there by Finner-Tilton. Jackets all around the net. They've regained the lead on the shot clock. Looking for the equalizer. 3:19 left. Up high. Johansson late in the shift. Zibanejad all over him. Hartnell and now makes the play at the point. Leonard off the glove. And Leonard slow to get to his feet. He is one tired goaltender here as the Jackets pepper the Ottawa net.
What a shift by that line. Johansson, Foligno, and Hartnell. And it starts with Ryan Johansson on the entry. Right here. Attacks 3D. And right, see that little backhand shot? He's behind the goal line, but he tries to bank it off Leonard's back. Great awareness, great skill behind the goal line. Tried to fool Leonard, and from there, he just dominated the shift with his line mate.
Jackets win the draw. Jack Johnson drills it high and wide. Matt Calvert has had the legs going here in the third period. Skilly doesn't miss your shift. He's here battling along the near board. Borowiecki. Wenberg. Skilly. Trying to send it to the point. Skilly continues to let those legs go. And he's not being tied up. Walking out. Wenberg. Savard. One-timer Jack Johnson. Oh, kick save. And a dandy there by Leonard. That puck was labeled, and Leonard got the right leg on it.
That was like an off-speed pitch.
It was deflected in front. Here, Wenberg rolls off his stick. 2 minutes, 16 seconds left. Senators change up on the fly. Jackets quickly gain the zone. David Savard looks right side there for Letestu. Letestu tried to toss it in front. Carlson is there. Carlson skates it out of the zone. On that right wing for Smith. Jackets defend. Letestu steers to the corner. McCulloch up high, unable to get it to Phillips, who's forced back to his own blue line. Less than 2 minutes left. We'll keep an eye on Sergei Bobrovsky. Jackets looking for the equalizer.
Two good shifts there by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Good offensive zone time. Good action at the net.
Artem Anisimov dumps in on that hard around. Gets away from Atkinson. Jackets, Wisniewski unable to keep it in at the right point. Eriksson will play it. Anisimov wants the puck. 90 seconds left. Bobrovsky at the hash mark. Right wing feed across the line. There goes Bobrovsky. And down is Leonard. He'll cover up. Jackets have got to hold their temper here now and not be goaded into a penalty with the pushing and shoving behind the net. A minute 23 left. Bobrovsky on the bench. Jackets will have 6 skaters on.
Good point, Jeff. Hold your temper in front of the goaltender. Stay calm, get regrouped. Face off now to the left of Leonard. And that was that off-speed puck that came in from out top. Kind of fooled Leonard. He had to stay with it as it got deflected out high. You can see him communicating now with his defenseman, Greiba. Blue Jackets are going to call a timeout here, Jeff, with the face-off in the offensive zone and the extra attacker out. They've practiced this a little bit, but they want to go over, clientele. Maybe they're going to put someone else out there that was just out there, get them a little extra rest, drop a play.
I was kind of hoping with the clipboard out, you'd tell us exactly the play that's being
Well, if we
described
look
here.
closely, Jeff, we can see the marks on the clipboard. Looks like there's going to be someone popping out off the face-off. It all starts with a face-off win there. This is a key face-off for whoever's going to take it. Probably Ryan Johansson. Puck possession in the offensive zone. Get set up. Get attacking the net. And got to have a guy in front, as you said earlier.
All right, let's see who does take the draw. And it likely will be Ryan Johansson. As we take a look at the skaters, you've got Hartnell, Johansson, Atkinson, and on that far side of the circle to the left of Leonard, Nick Foligno. Johansson, Jody, you could be a coach. Wins the faceoff. Atkinson gets it back to Wisniewski. Through a crowd, ricochet. Leonard leading the other way, but it bounced wide of the net. 1:15 left. Hartnell to the point. Wisniewski on for Eriksson. Camped in front is Foligno. Quickly handed Atkinson with Wisniewski. Shot blocked, and it was actually blocked by Hartnell. That one hurt. Jackets keep it in. Johansson far circle. Here in front. They can't send it home. Up high, Wisniewski. On to Johansson for Eriksson. Eriksson, Wisniewski. In the slot, Atkinson. The shot is blocked. Smith's dropping in front of it. Up high, Neal. Jackets keep it in. Wisniewski with the reach. Play called.
They called a high stick on the Blue Jackets. Love the play by Cam Atkinson. Puck gets turned over, and he has the whereabouts to stay patient in the middle of the ice, pick off a pass, keep the puck in the offensive zone. Those are key plays. When the other team thinks they're going to clear the zone, but you're able to keep it in, there's the high stick, and Isamov is just protecting himself there. Oh, sorry, it was Hartnell.
Well, tough to make that out. Certainly, you heard or saw at least Todd Richards trying to lobby the official. Meantime, 30 seconds left. This is Eriksson. Cross ice, Wisniewski. High slot, Atkinson drops it back for Wisniewski. Jackets have got to direct that puck to the net. Wisniewski lets one fly, and Leonard's able to stop it. Nick Foligno one-hands it here to Johansson. Johansson, 12 seconds left. Eriksson, traffic in front of Leonard. Quick shot off a leg. Jackets, Hartnell tried to throw it in front. Carlson, 2 seconds, one from a sharp angle. Hartnell is there, the horn goes. The Senators hold on. And some pushing and shoving at the final buzzer. And now Leonard for the face wash on Foligno, who takes exception. The Senators hang on.
Columbus did a good job moving the puck, staying patient. There's it right at the end. Nick Foligno's got the puck. Hartnell's down the ice, and Foligno is just trying to get in the action. Watch Leonard. Well, how you doing? How's she going?
The Blue Jackets peppered the Ottawa net with 17 shots in the third period, but can't get the puck past Leonard.